Saints Buccaneers is the game tonight in Tampa, Raymond James Stadium. Bucs are laying 3.5 points, Brandon, over under at 41. The Saints historically, since Brady arrived in Tampa, have given him fits. The Bucs did beat the Saints early in the season in New Orleans, and the offense wasn't clicking then. It still isn't.
Yeah, and there's a lot of injuries for Tampa Bay here too. Tristan Wirfs, the star tackle, is out for this game. Antoine Winfield, star safety, who's been a really key to their defense, he's doubtful. Mike Edwards, Sean Murphy-Bunting, that's 3 of the 4 secondary starters, all doubtful for this game. Vita Vea, the run stuffer, defensive tackle, he's questionable. There's a lot of big names for this Bucs team that just can't really get healthy this year. So I think the tendency is to look at the line and say, okay, well, it's Saints 3.5. Earlier in the week, it was Saints 6.5. We lost all the value. No, we gained value because Tampa's missing all these guys now. That's why the line dropped out, not just because the money came in. So since you mentioned that the Bucs beat the Saints, that was in week 2. Since then, Tampa Bay is 3-6, and those 3 wins are by 3, 5, and 6 points, I think. So Saints have beaten Tom Brady 4 to 5 times in the regular season. Dennis Allen just seems to have a pretty good kind of matchup for what the Bucs do well. And don't forget, in primetime games, Tom Brady with the Bucs, 2-10 ATS. So Andy Dalton, not exactly real great in primetime himself, but at least offsetting the ATS there. It's a good spot for short road underdogs. 4 points or less on Monday night is 24, 13, and 1 ATS. And then I kind of like the under here as well, because we know these games have been pretty low scoring. 5 games that Bucs played with Brady against the Saints, 38.6 points a game. So I like the under 40.5. Bucs have gone under 40.5 in 9 out of 11 games this season. They've been one of the top under teams out there. So I'm going to do a play here that I've done on a few other games this weekend. I'm going to go double dip here. I'm going to play the under 40.5 and the Saints cover. I'm going to play them together because I think that those are correlated. So together, I got a plus 264. You play both of those. I think the Saints keep it close. It's low scoring. 3.5, you're above the key number. Maybe even if the Bucs get a win, it's by field goal, 20-17, something like that. So I'll play a Saints cover and an under 40.5.
Very good. That number just moved as we spoke over at FanDuel. 41.5 now is the total. And the numbers moved to Saints +3.
Well, we're moving all over the place. All right.
Yeah. That typically doesn't happen, folks, when we record late night Sunday into the wee hours of the morning Monday. 41.5 total, and Saints are now +3. Jill, touchdown scores. What do we like? Kamara, White, and Fournette. Fournette, I think, is going to play. He didn't play last week. Questionable. But those are your top 3 in terms of the favorites to score tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking at Chris Godwin. I think Godwin is the most consistent wide receiver right now on the Bucs. He's got 10+ targets in 6 of 9 games this year. I know Brandon was really high on him at the start of the year. I thought he could be even a top 5 wide receiver from a fantasy standpoint. Going for his 3rd straight game with a touchdown. And Lattimore is expected back. He'll likely key in on Mike Evans. You can go through the game logs. You can see Mike Evans doesn't usually perform that well in those matchups with Lattimore. And then on the Saints side, I'm probably just going to take a unit and split it, because I was looking at Juwan Johnson, and the Bucs struggle against tight ends this year, but he's got ruled out for the game. So I'm just going to take the next man up. I'm going to take Adam Troutman, and then I'm also going to take Rashid Shaheed. I'm going to put a half unit on each, and just kind of hope for the best. And I have no shame in admitting that I'm throwing darts on the Saints side, because the consistency week to week on who scores in this offense changes all the time. And my producer he's knocking me right now. He's saying you should take Taysom Hill, and I'm going to say Taysom Hill, no thanks, unless you're giving me over like +400 odds on that.